So the alt-left-wing media is at it again with the Sarah Jane Comrie narrative, or the preferred narrative, I should say, with respect to trying to make this woman a villain. Now, in the face of potential defamation suits, the left-wing independent media has pivoted away from the ostensible defamatory comments and are instead trying to paint this woman as though she's some sort of a racist, Karen, so on and so forth. And what they've brought to the forefront are receipts stemming from the teen at the center of the infamous video that they think somehow exonerates the child and paints him as a choir boy. Newsflash, that is not the case. My name's Greg Hoyt, and we're going to go ahead and dive into the intricacies, details, and funny business associated with the latest updates of the Citi Bike controversy here on The Breakdown.
And I like good trees. Smoke so much weed you wouldn't believe. And I get more ass than a toilet seat. 3 to the 1, from the 1 to the 3. I met a bad bitch last night in the D. Let me tell you how I made a...
So Monique Judge is at it again. Doubling down, or is it triple or quadruple at this point? I don't know. It's really hard to keep up. But Monique Judge is, doing some iteration number down on the Citi Bike Karen narrative that is on the precipice of resulting in lawsuits against media outlets who ran with a defamatory narrative on the woman at the center of the video, aka Sarah Jane Comrie. Now, in this latest update relating to the saga, Monique Judge is putting forth receipts that she suggests somehow exonerates the young teen observed in the original May 12 video. Spoiler alert, the receipts only further prove Comrie's case for the bike she reportedly rented being taken from her by the teen. In Monique Judge's article published on News 1 on May 24th, she wrote, "Mary and Michael are eager to talk to me, but Betty, their mother, is reluctant to let Michael speak with anyone. He's only 17 years old. He's my baby," Betty says. Now, for the sake of context, Michael is purportedly the teen boy who is observed on the May 12 video struggling with this bike that Comrie was sitting upon. Also, for further context, Michael isn't even this kid's real name, nor is Mary his purported sister, nor is Betty his purported mother. Monique Judge afforded pseudonyms for the 3 individuals who purportedly provided receipts to refute the narrative that was brought forth by Sarah Jane Comrie, her attorney, so on and so forth. But the irony again, and I cannot stress this enough, the receipts provided by this family, even if they are 100% authentic, all they genuinely prove is that the teen boy observed in the video was legitimately trying to strong-arm rob a 6-month pregnant woman and try to take this Citi bike away from the woman and force it back into the rack. That's all this proves, and we'll dive into the details. I assure you, this is golden. So you see, Monique Judge quoted a woman in the article, claiming to be the teen's mother, saying the teen's mother lambasted how no one reached out to her son prior to the media frenzy, which, keep in mind, was originally circulated in an attempt to label Comrie as a thief and a Karen. That was the original media cycle we saw spinning post-May 12. And then, when the narrative pivoted to Comrie coming out with a receipt showing she'd rented the bike, now the teen's mother is upset that scrutiny is coming in her son's direction. I cannot stress the irony enough in this. Now, of course, with respect to this May 24 article by Monique Judge, the article also fails to mention that the teen seen in the original May 12 video didn't publicly out himself prior to the May 24 article, by Judge, along with a TikTok video allegedly recorded by the teenage boy's sister, which, again, technically, the teen hasn't outed himself since the article uses pseudonyms. Nonetheless, the teen's mother explained that her son was utilizing a common exploit for the Citi Bike rental program, where as long as rides were clocked under 45 minutes, then the renter could save some cash for the respective ride. However, in order to accomplish this particular exploit, riders have to relock the rented bikes at a designated docking station and then re-check out the bike again. Now, the receipts provided for Monique Judge's article show the teen had docked bike number 5603915 at the First Ave and East 30th Street location at 7:19 p.m. on May 12, which is where the infamous video confrontation with Comrie transpired. As seen on the original video, Comrie is literally on the bike while the teen can be seen observed shoving it back into the docking station as she is sitting upon it, thereby ending her ride by force. For the sake of context, receipts provided by Comrie's attorney showcase she rented the bike at 7:24 p.m. on May 12, and her ride was abruptly ended 1 minute later due to the bike being redocked. And I know I may be beating a dead horse with this, but I really can't stress it enough. The irony of Monique Judge's latest piece trying to defend the teen seen in the video is that the receipts provided by the teen's family show that he rented the bike again after he forcibly ended Comrie's duly rented bike ride. Now, you can call this opinion, you can call it conjecture, but it is what it is. This is my thoughts on the matter. Somehow, this kid and his family, as well as Monique Judge and other idiotic pundits who pushed the original false narrative about Comrie being a racist bike thief, they're seemingly trying to basically claim that simply because this teen called what you would say dibs on a publicly available bike to rent, he's allowed to physically prevent a pregnant woman from carrying out her completed rental transaction of this publicly available commodity. Like, holy shit, you want to talk about the narrative stemming from entitlement and privilege, like, from your Monique Judges or your Tizzy ENT or Tezzy ENT. I don't know who that fat boomer's name is. But if you want to talk about the entitlement and the weaponization of immutable characteristics, it is ostensibly coming from this teen and his family. This teen's family, and really more so, I'm going to lay more blame on the media being the torchbearer for this narrative. They're trying to say that since a black teen called dibs on something they did not have lawful possession of, they are allowed to steal something from a white woman. Because, I guess, calling dibs? I don't know. The logic behind this is just completely absurd. And, I'll be candid. I would absolutely invite, Monica Judge or Tizzy Fat Boy, whatever his name is. I would gladly invite them to debate this with me. Gladly would. If they want to. I don't think they would. Because their position is completely retarded. Their logic is missing, and instead they're reaching conclusions based upon pre-existing biases. They are not drawing any logical conclusions here. Basically, what I'm saying is, when you are entertaining any sort of news gathering from either or of them, whether it be from Judge or whether it be from Tezzy Fat Boy, whomever it is, you're likely about to digest the most retarded shit you're ever going to hear, based upon what I've seen these folks produce. Now, another funny thing about this whole Citi Bike conundrum is after the ostensible, or at least what some would describe as the strong-arming carried out by the teen seen in the May 12 video, he didn't even take the bike anywhere after he unracked it at 7:25 p.m. for a total of 6 minutes. He re-racked the bike at 7:31 p.m. at the same location that he unhooked it from and had this confrontation with Comrie. Like, there is so much stupidity going on around this story, largely due to people like Monique Judge and her lateral cronies, because all they've managed to prove with their receipts is that the teen forcibly ended Comrie's rental and is justifying it by the claim that he was about to rent it again, but simply hadn't yet. This is a story akin to fighting over the last item on a store shelf after someone already paid for it. This would be like someone renting a hotel room or an Airbnb and finding someone standing next to their door attempting to claim dibs.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm the guy who is about to rent that room.
Yeah, I just rented this Airbnb.
Well, you see, I rented the Airbnb last night, and I stayed, and I just checked out this morning, but I'm about to rent it again, so I'm just, like, standing by it. And the cool thing is, if I rent it right now, I actually save a little bit of money instead of having done just, like, the back-to-back reservation originally.
Alright, so let me get this straight. You rented the Airbnb last night, and then you checked out because you wanted to get a cheaper rate today, but you haven't rented it again, so you're just waiting by it.
Pretty much.
That makes no sense. What are you doing?
I'm filming you.
Why are you filming me?
I'm filming you, trying to steal my room.
What do you mean I'm trying to steal this Airbnb from you? Like, you're literally trying to take it from me right now.
Well, see, I just contacted the Airbnb host, and I told them you're canceling. And so I quickly rented the room again. So now you're trying to steal it from me.
You did what? Wait, how did you cancel my reservation?
And now you're being racist.
This is ridiculous.
Jokes aside, with regard to the situation, what I found most appalling by Monique Judge's May 24 article was the narrative being put forth. After this Comrie's woman's life was turned upside down, labeled a racist, essentially removed from her job, put on suspension, put on leave, whatever you want to call it. She's basically fired without being fired yet. And outside of the original mainstream media narratives that were painting her as a racist and a Karen and a potential thief, Monique Judge's article homed in on the purported mother of the teen and this innocent boy, Michael, the boy at the opposite end of the infamous video. Monique Judge painted them as the victims in this situation, despite the fact that Sarah Jane Comrie is the true-to-form victim. She is the only one that suffered tangible, measurable harm in all this. Because again, the public at large has basically no idea who the teen or the family is of the black young man seen at the opposite end of that video. But everybody knows Sarah Jane Comrie's name. But Monique Judge pushed forward with the most absurd, obtuse, retarded talking point that came from the woman who goes by the name Betty, where she proclaimed that the antics of Sarah Jane Comrie calling for help in a situation where she was ostensibly the victim of a strong-arm robbery. She asserted that that woman calling for help put her son's life at risk. And again, this is a quote coming from Monique Judge's article. And so keep in mind, this was allegedly said by the teen boy's mother. As a mother, you don't want to see your child like that. My reaction when I saw it was, oh my God, I almost lost my son in that moment. Do you understand me? I'm not from here, but we all know this country. But how the policemen here do our sons, and our husbands, and our fathers, they kill us. So with a white woman standing right there and screaming for someone to help, if the police had come, and my son was standing there, they are going to shoot him. If he runs, they are going to shoot him. Everyone is taking her side because she is rich, and she is white, and she hired a lawyer, and the lawyer is defending her. They put it all over the television, and no one tried to find out who the boy is, who could have lost his life. They didn't find out who the family is. Everybody just ignored us like we don't matter. Give me a break. Are you trying to play the card of, oh, nobody reached out to my son? Holy that kid was completely underground until approximately May 23, May 24th, depending on when he decided to have his sister do that TikTok, or when he reached out to the media that was very sympathetic to him at the onset, that created this absurd narrative that painted Sarah Jane Comrie as a racist bike thief. He was completely underground. You had plenty of time. You had plenty of time when the media was indiscriminately painting Comrie as some type of heathenous, villain, racist, so on and so forth. Oh, but your boy had no desire to come out in the forefront then, nor did you. But all of a sudden, when this woman, Comrie, just comes to her defense, that's all she did, came to her defense with evidence. You take that as a personal affront. And this narrative of, oh, the police were going to kill my kid, did you see how the persons in the video reacted to that? Where largely all bystanders were amicable? And do you even pay attention to the statistics regarding, unarmed black men being fatally shot by police officers? I'm pretty sure you don't, because if you do, you would know that no, your child was not in danger in any way, shape, or form. That is the just most ridiculous assertion. And yes, I would say that to her face. I would say that to the boy's face. I'd say to their entire family's face, because they have to be completely retarded to think this sort of imagined scenario that their boy was in any danger whatsoever. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much a long and short of it. I'm curious to hear y'all's thoughts on this matter, whether you agree with my take, whether you think I'm just being way out of line, whether you think that News One has dug themselves in a hole that they're never going to be able to get out of. Whatever your thoughts are on the matter, go ahead and drop it in the comment section. Anyways, guys, that was the breakdown. Peace.